Hi everyone, this is Lisette with Fofucha Dolls, and today I'm going to show you how to create a cute cloud doll. All step-by-step instructions made out of foam sheets. Are you ready? Well, let's get started. For supplies, you're going to need the following: foam sheets, hot tool, iron and piece of fabric, acrylic paint, glue gun, scissors, two 1.5-inch polystyrene balls, two 1-inch polystyrene balls, craft cutter, all-purpose universal glue, and I'll be doing a demo on that glue, fiberfill, bamboo skewer, dot painter, and a thick punch heart from Fiskars. We'll be creating the shoe like creating the shoe for a Fofucha doll. You're going to cut the edge of a 1.5-inch polystyrene ball, and you will do the same on a 1-inch polystyrene ball. Don't cut too much, just enough to create that foot. You will glue it together. Once it's glued, let it dry a couple of minutes. And with the craft cutter, you're going to cut the bottom to create that foot. For the next step, you will iron a piece of foam sheet. Remember that your iron has to be in the cotton setting. Protect the foam sheet with a piece of fabric. Iron, and once the foam sheet starts to curl, again, that's a good indication that it's ready. Once it's nice and hot, you will place it over the foot and gently stretch it down. I'm using a paint bottle to support the foot. You could gently squeeze to give it the shape. Now with a scissor, just pop the foot out. I'm going to show you what to do next. So cut a piece of white sheet, small sheet, not too big. Iron it. Again, warm it up, make sure it's nice and warm. And gently place it over the foot. This is going to give it an illusion that it has a sock on, but without using an entire sock, of course. You could cut the excess off a bit. Just cut around the edges. You just need enough to cover the foot so the shoe can be placed over. And I will show you that in the following step. Now we're going to glue using an all-purpose universal glue, Silicona Liquida Universal. It is now available in the United States. You could obtain it by visiting my link below and receive a 15% off coupon using my coupon code. So place it on, wait 2 minutes, and you place it over the foot. Now you're going to trace with a toothpick the actual shoe. I'm just doing a little trace around because I will be cutting that opening. So with a scissor, you can cut. Just do it gently. And if you need to polish the edge, you could cut again around. Now gently place the shoe over. You see? That was the reason why I asked you to make that sock, because there was no need to do the entire sock. So now you're going to glue the edge with hot glue and just cut the excess off of the shoe. Now you're going to create the sole of the shoe. Just put a little bit of glue and place it onto the sheet and then cut it around. Now to add a little more realism to the shoe, you can cut a white strip, and with your hot tool, you can create that effect, as you can see on the screen. It creates ridges for the shoe. And just glue it onto the shoe. Here I'm using the thick punch. I punched one heart, well, 2 hearts as a matter of fact, and I placed it on the center of the shoe with a little bit of glue. Next, to create the strap, just cut a little strip of foam sheet and glue it onto the shoe. Now with a dot painter, you could just paint dots around the shoe. I'm doing in sets of 3. Cut a bamboo skewer in half and use the leg template. Place glue and place the bamboo skewer on top and start to gently roll. And keep placing the glue as well and keep rolling until you reach the end. Next, you will glue it down to the foot. Using the bowl template, you will now trace and cut and start to heat them up. Remember, the template's available in my description box below. Once it's nice and hot, just give it a shape. You would do the same with all pieces, and you would glue the center of the bow so it could hold together. Also trace and cut the cloud. Here I'm using some acrylic paint for some shading. I just water it down or use a paper towel and just rub it around the entire cloud. You'll be ironing the cloud now. You have to face it down. The painted part has to be face down. And you iron it, and it should get nice and hot. Not too hot though. Otherwise it will shrink too much. Enough just to give it that puffy look. Then turn it over and try to shape it with your hands. And see, it has like a three-dimensional look. Next, you will iron the back part. The back part you would face up. And turn it over and shape it with your hands. And here I am using the all-purpose universal glue. I'm going to glue around the edges, but leave the bottom part with no glue. The reason I'm using this glue is because it gives me a little more flexibility than the hot glue. So put it on your edge, wait 2 minutes and follow the instructions, and then you can place the top over it. Now I place the top and I'm gently squeezing so the glue can bond onto the other side. Now I fill the cloud with some fiberfill. And now I'm going to draw the eyes. I'm using a paint pen. You could use a permanent marker or you could use a brush if you like with acrylic paint. I just like the flexibility of a paint pen. So I drew the eyes and the eyelashes. And next I fill in the cheeks with some pink chalk pastel. You can use blush or pastel colors, or you can even use acrylic paint. So I rub in the cheeks to give it a finished look. Now for the hearts, I use the same punch and I iron them. I line them up, I use my hot glue gun and some ribbon. I put the ribbon over and then I close it off, putting the other set of hearts over. I'm going to use the all-purpose universal glue. I'm going to put some on the edge and wait for the 2 minutes and it will adhere onto the cloud. This will be more forgiving than a hot glue gun. Now here are the legs. What I do is I hot glue the legs into the fiberfill, as you can see on the screen. Just put plenty of hot glue and just put them in there. Now I'm going to use the universal glue, the all-purpose universal glue, and I'm going to close off the edge. And we're all set. And there you have it, my final cloud doll. And Patreon members get the star doll pattern for free as their perk. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial as much as I did, and thanks so much for tuning in. I would like to thank all my Patreon members for their support: Dana S., Frank M., Cindy R., Claudia C., and Kathy R. Don't know what Patreon's all about? Well, check it out in my link below, where you could get perks from me. You could also follow me on Instagram and on Facebook under Fofucha Dolls. Don't forget to visit my Etsy shop, and if you want some all-purpose silicone glue, also visit my link below and get 15% off. It is an affiliate link. Thanks again. Until next time, and God bless.